Hey Total MTG fans! So today what I thought I'd do is run through how I trade on MTGO. So kind of like a little tutorial kind of video. I know there's a lot of people out there that already know how to do this, but do have some newbies on my channel, some new players, and I'm getting questions asked all the time saying how do you trade, how do you get the decks you get, stuff like that. So what I thought I'd do is just run how I build the decks that I want to build sometimes. Not always just by spending money and just by trading and stuff like that, which you can do on MTGO, which is pretty cool. So we'll start off by looking at, looking at your collection. So, look at some of the decks I have. What I basically do is, if you see that I run through a deck and then I'll try and trade into the next deck. So there's some decks on here that you haven't seen in videos yet, like Jesky Control and stuff like that I will be putting up soon. But like when I finish with this deck, what I will do is, some of the cards I don't trade, like Serum Visions and Mana Leaks and stuff like that, and runs, because I always use them in every decks, but I might not be using Narset Transestance in every deck. Probably won't get rid of Nahiris because they're so good, but I do just try and to make it cheaper on myself, because MTGO is not cheap. You're buying virtual cards and, not paper cards in your hand, so you've got to try and, do it within your bank balance, and, that's the way I'll do it. So, we will go to the store. To do trades, you will need event tickets. If you're just buying cards, you'll need event tickets. These on MTGO cost $1 each. So, but you can get them. I've seen them on like MTG selling sites where people will have loads of tickets and they're trying to sell like 100 tickets and they're selling for like 65p each, or I don't know, 70 cents or 80 cents each. So you can try and save yourself a bit of money there, just so you can build the card, build the decks you want and buy the cards. If you want to just spend the money on tickets and you haven't got, you haven't built up a collection, if you're new to it and you haven't built up a collection of cards where you can just trade into other cards, that is probably the way to do it. I would suggest, don't go all in and spend all your money on like a really expensive deck. Just try and get a fun deck to start with. That's what I do. A lot of my decks are fun. I do have a couple of serious, more decks, but basically that's the way you do it. You can do it on there. You put it in your details, and then you buy your tickets. So we go to the trade part of the menu here. If it would just load up. My internet might be a bit slow today because I'm trying to download at the same time, which I probably shouldn't have done while I was doing this video, but hey ho. Actually comes up. Trade. Come on. Right, while that's waiting to load, I'll show you the site I look at. The site I look at for price on cards is Wiki Price. This is a really good card. Basically what it does, it shows you each vendor that is selling cards. So you can look down here and see what are the best sellers right now. Live from the Loan is going for 6.8 tickets. Hercule's Recall is going for 10 tickets at the moment, and I've got a couple of them in my collection, so I could sell them if I want to, but it is such a good card. Golgari Gravechild going for that. And then it looks at the best buyers right now. So you can have a look at what certain cards, like Fulminating Mage is $15, going for that. Marsh Flats are going for 14.4. And then it'll have all the sets down here, so you can search your card. Modern, Standard, Legacy, Vintage, and Other. So let's see if it's come back up here. Yep, it's come up. So this is like the trade sites. So these are all different people that are trading cards, buying and selling. So you basically can put in a card up here. So let's put in Marsh Flats. So you can search. And then it will come up with Marsh Flats here, and it'll tell you what they're selling them for, what they're buying them for, stuff like that. So you can look for your best offer. Like Marsh Flats, they're about 9.4, 6.9, 10.66. You can see it's like a wide range of prices and stuff like that. So when you do actually trade with someone, you can add them as a buddy. So like I have got all my buddies on here. These are like the people that I do prefer to trade with. I've got quite a few, and these people are just offline. There's some people that I play with online. So you can just click on any of these and go to, where you want to go. Search for like people that you want to look at. So if you go to all current posts, it's running very slow today. So there. So I go to, like, say I want to go and look at Aztec. Go to Aztec. Then, you know, if he's got the best offer on a card, you know, you're searching for a card on MTG Wiki Price, and Aztec would have the best price, so you go to him. You know, that's the way I do it. So if we go over to Wiki Price, so you're looking at a card. So say I want to sell a card. I looked at a card in my collection that I could sell. It doesn't sell for a lot, but it's Ajani Goldmane. So you look at Ajani Goldmane, it will come up with all the different makes, all the different sets that it's come from. The one I've got is a Lauren. So I will search that. And then it will come up with this. So usually there's a picture there of the card. This gives you the, you know, going by the dates, what it's sold for, what it's bought for. So you can see at the moment, it went as high as like 1.0, 0.8. And at the moment, it's, you know, it's probably a wrong time for me to sell, but I'm going to do this just because, you know, it's not going to rise hugely. I wouldn't have thought. It's never been a really high card. So we go over here. So this is if you're selling. If you want to buy it, it's going to cost you 0.436. That's the cheapest guy. And see, these guys here, what this site does, once you link your channel to it, it will keep your updated credit. So the more you trade with people, you know, you can't obviously get full tickets all the time. They give you credit and they keep that credit for you. And it always stays there. So you can see there's me, Mash Bubbles from MTGO. My total credit is three tickets and 0.4 over 39 different bots. And these are the bots. So you can see here, if I was going to buy this card, it would still cost me a ticket because I haven't got 0.436 credit with them. But because I use them all the time, you use a ticket and obviously then your credit will just go up. So we go over here. This is where you would sell a card. So, you know, you can see the difference in price. You're not actually losing that much money. So MTGO card market are going to give you 0.4 and I've got 0.7 credit with them. So, and I could do it with Aztec Store, but they're offering a little bit less, but I could also get myself a ticket that way as well. So, MTGO card market. So we go back over to this. I put in MTGO card market, search for them, and there they are. So I'm just going to move, they're busy at the moment, I'm just going to move that out of the way, because you click on that for trade. They're busy at the moment, so they probably won't try, but sometimes that is a bit delayed, so I will try and trade with them. Actually, before that, I forgot to do something else, so I'm going to cancel that trade. I forgot to put Ajani up for trade, so we can just cancel that off. Cancel that off, go back to my collection. There we go. So what I do now, I search for Ajani. And an Ajani will come up. So there's Ajani Goldmane. I've got one in my collection. These are the other Ajanis. So what you do, you right click, add one to your active trade binder. So your active trade binder is over here. So if you go to your binders, you have an active trade binder. And you can fill this up with as many cards in your collection as you want. See, I've got 1,717 cards in there, but a lot of them are, you know, just commons, uncommons, and stuff like that. You know, not very good cards. So we can sort them. If we sort them by rarity, see there you can see Ajani Goldmane is up for trade, along with some Figure and Destinies, but they're not worth a lot either. So we will go back to the trade. MTGO card market is open, and hopefully, you know, it's not just because you see that they're offering the best price, they don't always buy the card. So it's not always guaranteed that they will buy the card. And that's gone down, so let's get that back up. Here we go, we'll make that big. So that was a previous search that I was doing. I was looking for Part the Veils. So what you do here, see, it says type sell or pick ticket. So what I'm going to do is type sell and press the enter button. Hopefully he'll take my Ajani. Oh, he's taking 4 items. See, he's taking the Ajani there. And these are just extra items from my thing. From my collection. So he's got to read the bones he wants to take, a pony back, and an Efrit as well. It says here I have 0.726 credit, and please take up to 1.129 tickets. So what we can do now, we go to his other products, click on tickets, and he has 1,000, lucky man. He has 1,000 tickets in there. So what you do, you click on that. So you see there, I will receive 1 ticket and he will receive all those cards. We then submit the trade. And hopefully it won't take too long to go through. Come on. There we go. So we have the trade here. I will receive that. MTGO card market will receive those cards. And then we do confirm trade. And there is our trade. Now added to our collection. Get rid of that. Thank you for that. They just tell you to add them as a friend. So we have one event ticket there. Then you go back to your collection. To your other products. And you can just scroll down a bit. And you can see our event ticket is there. So basically that is how you sell a card. You pick the card in your collection, you know, right click, add it to your active trade binder, make your active trade binder, and then you start trading like that. So yeah, basically with Wiki Price, you can search any sort of card, any vendors, you just put in anything. So if we put in the Snapcaster Mages, I have a couple in my collection, so we can have a look. There's only obviously one type of them, so you can look in there. See, that's the picture I'm talking about. And then it gives you the graph. So it shows you the graph of what they were and what they are. You know, snaps are very steady on their price, as an example. So you can see, like, to buy, the cheapest option to buy is MTGO card market. I do find MTGO card market is very reasonable sometimes. So it's 16.99 tickets. So it's going to cost you 17 tickets. And then to sell them back, you can get 16, 15, 62s. You know, you do lose money, obviously, when you trade back. But sometimes you don't. Sometimes the cards go up. But cards that are, you know, pretty much staple like this pretty much stay the same price. You know, if you want to get into just trading and trying to make tickets out of it, I've never done that. You know, as a you know, it's not one thing that I do. I obviously try to if I can, but it's not like my whole gain, my whole idea of doing this. You know, these traders are on here just to make money and do this, which is what their job, and you've got to keep on top of it and have a lot of tickets. Like you saw that last guy had 1,000 tickets in his collection. 1,000 tickets is $1,000, £1,000. You know, it's a lot of money. Well, probably not £1,000 now, because the pound is even worse. Probably cost you a lot more than that. But oh well. So yeah, I definitely, you know, MTGO Wiki Price. Put that in your library or your bookmark for this. You can look at loads of different cards. You can look at sets. So if you click on like the recent one, Eternal Masters, you got all the cards here that you can look at on this site. So go and look at Force of Wills. Press on that. You can see Force of Will is a very high card. Selling for 25 tickets, 0.48. And selling for 25. So you can look, you might lose a ticket when you're buying and selling, but it's not too bad. Basically, you just need to start up. That's the way to do it. Start up, then you can start trading cards. If we go to, say you want to build a new deck. So what we're showing now, we're at a new deck. We're not actually going to build this or pay the money, but what we do, we say just call it new deck. Okay. So if we reset all your filters here, these are cards all in my collection. I've got 8,795 cards in my collection. The quantity is showing that I have more than one of. Now if you put this to 0, it will show up all the cards that are available. So here we are. See, these cards are not in my collection. But if you wanted to build a deck, basically what you do, you'd put the cards in. You can still add them. But what they have this little mark all around them, see? So that means the card is not in your collection. So say you wanted to buy a Darker Waste for your thing. So you go back here. You'd put in the Darker. There it is, a Darker Waste. So I didn't look at what set it was. Looks like 9th edition. So let's go back over here. So you click on this and you see how much the card is. The card looks to be pretty cheap. So it's 1 ticket 20. So there I'd be just short of getting it. I could get one for 1 ticket there, but I'm going to pay $1.37 or 1 ticket 37. However you want to look at it. And it would cost me 1 ticket. Whereas that guy would obviously take 2 tickets off me and leave me with credit. So if you bought this card, you trade this card, you go onto the trade file, buy this card. What it would automatically do then is just add it to your collection. That would just, the mark around it would go. As long as it's the same card that you've put in here, the mark would go and it will fill your card. So basically what you can do is build your decks. Put them all in there, the cards you haven't got and the cards you have got. Go to the trade folder, and then when you go to trade, you could go, I'll show you how to do that quickly. So we go to trade, go to any one of these. Here we go, we go to MTGO Card Market 4. Just as long as I can remember how to do this. So, we'll reset all the filters. Reset. So you go search tool. Here we go. So we've gone to search tool. So what this does here, you can import their select wish lists. So we scroll all the way down. See, these are the decks that I have. New deck 2, control, Delver, whatnot, da 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 da. So what I do, say I click, let's click affinity in vintage. We will select. He will then come up and tell me some cards not found. The following cards from your list were not available for trade. But he has the other cards available. And as you can see, up here is the cards that I'd need for that. So it would tell me what I have in my collection. You know, I've got 4 in my collection. He's got 2 available. I've got none of them in my collection, but it's the same card, but just a different type. So basically, that is the way you do it. You could build your cards up. Build your deck up, sorry. Then you go to search tool, add the deck, and then if you found a vendor and you want to just buy it from one vendor, you know, you don't want to be messing around, you know, you just got, you know, if you don't want to be messing around trying to say pinch and save pennies, you know, I try and do that because obviously I build a lot of decks and it's not cheap and I don't have any sponsorship or anything like that. I'm not like some of the YouTubers that get free cards just sent to them and stuff like that. Basically, that's the way you do it. You know, you build your decks, and then you can do that. Buy them all from one vendor. He will then give you the price. If you've got the tickets, you can do it. And it's an easy way of just building your decks, doing stuff like that. So we can search Mythic Rare, add in some of those lovely breeding pools there. Obviously, I haven't got any of them in my collection. And then you just go, like I say, to the trade folder, to the trade guy, put them all in, search on Wiki if it's the best price. If you want to do it all from one, you can do it from one. If you want to do it by card, it makes no difference whatsoever. So guys, anyway, I hope this, you know, it was a little bit of a tutorial. It wasn't too bad, I hope. Gives you some idea of how I trade and the sites I go on. Like I say, put MTGO Wiki Price in your bookmarks. It's a good way of just looking at cards because MTGO, you know, there's a lot of difference in cards. You can see there that guy's 481, they're selling for 120. So you don't want to be short, you know, you don't want to be paying too much for a card. So go on this site to check it out before you make your decks. Build up your trade buddies, get your credit, and then, you know, away you go and build some nice fun decks. Anyway, guys, this has been a quick MTGO trading tutorial. Hope you enjoyed it. Please leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys soon. Cheers, guys.